Welcome to my channel. Today, I will tell you how to save orchids whose leaves have turned yellow and their flowers have fallen off. When orchids are infected with a fungal disease, their leaves begin to turn yellow and fall off rapidly. The flower branch, if it has flowers, drops its flowers quickly. Especially in stem fungus, the fungus starts from the inner part of the trunk, and in these cases, the roots of the orchid are generally healthy. However, as the fungus progresses on the leaves and stem, the leaves fall off on their own. In such a case, the first thing you need to do is cut off the dried branches and leaves. Yes, as the second step, I will pour powdered cinnamon on the body part. Powdered cinnamon is a powerful antioxidant, therefore, it helps stop the fungus on the trunk. In this way, we will prevent the fungus from traveling from the trunk to the roots. We do not water for a week, and will keep it by a window in a place with plenty of light. We will ensure that the fungus on the trunk dries completely. Yes, as you can see, I have dried the stem part of my orchid that I kept for a week. The third step we need to do is to clean and disinfect the roots of the orchid. First of all, be sure to add water before changing the pot. This way, roots will emerge more easily. As you can see, the roots become more visible when wet. In this way, we also see the rotting roots. There is also yellowing on the roots of the orchid due to the fungus. In order to see these yellowing better, I will now wash the stem of this orchid in the fountain without touching the water. Yes, I washed the roots thoroughly without soaking the stem part. Now I will clean the rotting roots of the orchid. What you need to pay attention to here is that we do not cut the roots of every yellowing orchid. We cut the roots of the orchid that is empty inside and becomes stringy when you pull it like this, because yellowing roots may turn green again over time. But this is how rotting roots happen. Now I am cleaning out all the rotting roots. I cleaned the rotting roots of the orchid. Now the fourth important tip is to disinfect the orchid roots. I will use powdered cinnamon for this. I will put boiling water on 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. I add 2 liters of water. If you want to disinfect your orchids, the best thing you can use is cinnamon powder, because cinnamon powder has both repairing rotting roots and strong antioxidant properties. That's why I recommend it to you. I'll mix this and wait for it to cool. Yes, I put the cleaned orchid roots into sufficiently cooled cinnamon water. What you need to pay attention to here is that the body part does not touch the water. Because it comes from a fungal disease, it should not get wet. Only its roots remain in this water. I'll let it sit for about 30 minutes. Now I take out the orchid that I kept in this water for 30 minutes. I will put the orchid aside and now show you how to plant the orchid. Now another stage is fifth stage. Do not transfer the orchid to a new pot. If you are going to use the old flower pot, you can disinfect it. In this way, I put a clay ball at the bottom, and I place my orchid on the clay ball. And now I'm going to use pine bark as the second soil. I recommend it to you too. I put pine bark right at the bottom. I will especially put moss in the middle part, because moss increases the moisture balance in orchid roots, making it easier for the roots to grow quickly. I always use seaweed and I recommend it to you too. Look especially at the inside. I'm placing it like this. Now I will put pine barks on it. Yes, my orchid is ready in its new pot. You can especially save leafless orchids with this method. I add water to it. I will put a glass of water on it and wait for the orchid to absorb this water slowly. While I'm waiting for this water, I would like to show you an orchid that I tried with the same method before. If you watched my video up to this point and liked it, I would be very happy if you click the like button immediately and subscribe to my channel. If you do not subscribe to it, I would be very happy if you subscribe to support me. I share with you the development of the leafless orchid and details. Yes, as you can see, this is an orchid that I tried with this method and got very successful results. In this method, orchids grow in this way and they grow new leaves and new roots. Never throw away yellowing orchids. Look, I am sharing with you my developments over time, one by one. This orchid has started to grow new roots and a new flower branch. In this method, leafless orchids grow not only leaves and roots but also new flower branches. And as it grows, it also produces new flower branches. What you need to pay attention to here is that this orchid receives plenty of light and that you give liquid plant nutrients to your orchid at regular intervals. As a result, the orchid becomes a new orchid. I hope all the tips I explained were useful to you. If you watched my video up to here and liked it, you can press the like button immediately and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed to support me. You can make lots of comments and ask questions in the comment section. Goodbye, stay healthy.